Hey, good morning everybody, welcome back. Sunshine Acre Jason here. In the Bronco today, we're heading to Atlanta and actually going to the International Woodworkers Fair, which is being held all week. I'm just going to go for one night and check some things out this afternoon and tomorrow morning. Before I get started, it is raining right now, so I don't know how the acoustics will be. We may have to voice over this. We're doing a different one. So we're going to go to the International Woodworkers Fair in Atlanta and check things out there, but the main thing that we're going to look at is iDry is down there with an iDry air set up on a container, just like you saw in previous videos, the container that we have at Sunshine Acres, and check that out and see what, you know, all the bells and whistles are, questions that may arise just by looking at it. I think it's going to be very interesting. I mean, I want to see, I know, for example, like I know they have a baffle system with like a pull string. I want to get some good pictures of that, get some video as well, show you all that. See how the unit actually mounts to the container, check out their insulation, see what product they put on the floor. Just everything before we get started on ours. Just kind of back check a little bit and figure out, make sure we're doing the right things, as well as open up lines of communication. I've talked to several of these guys on the phone, been able to meet several of them here today, and, you know, put a face with a name and all that stuff. So, but yeah, come along. We got about a 4-hour drive each way, but yeah, we're gonna head to the big city. I'm not a big fan of going to Atlanta and driving in the city, or Charlotte for that matter, any city, but yeah, I think it's a worthy trip, and we're gonna go check it out. I'm not gonna be getting dirty today, so I actually have a collared shirt on, got my Waxhaw Woodworks hat on, so we're ready to meet some folks, see some cool things, and come along, let's see what we can find. All right, so this is why we drove down here to Atlanta, to the International Woodworkers Fair, to see the iDry air. So you've seen our container at Sunshine Acres, but this is the actual unit here. And we'll talk to these guys and see if we can get an interview with them. All right, everybody, we're here with Jim Parker. He's the owner of iDry, and he's going to take us around and give us a tour of the booth.
Welcome to Atlanta. Thanks for stopping by the booth. Let's talk about vacuum drying and conventional drying and show you our products. We'll start with the iDry standard we brought all the way down from Vermont and show you how it works a little bit. And then we'll go on to the iDry air and talk about how that works and how we're actually drying wood right now in Atlanta downtown. So this is the iDry standard. This is our smallest vacuum kiln. It heats wood with air, but under a vacuum. It's really, really simple to use. It's ideal for slabs and thicker lumber. Comes 220 single-phase power connection. It's really simple to install. Touchscreen controls, start, stop. Literally, none of our customers know how to dry wood. This is very simple. There's no schedules or programs or complicated knowledge that you need to know. All the guts of the machine are back here: vacuum pump, heating, fan, the power connection. All of our kilns can be connected to the internet right here, and then you can control them from anywhere in the world from your phone. So you have really good visibility and control. This has been an invaluable tool. There's hundreds and hundreds of people around the world who are trying to get their wood business to the next step. They've got a sawmill, they need dry wood to sell, or they have a furniture company or a woodworking company, and they wish they just had the right dry wood dried properly. Both those guys find this as a tool that they can't do without. But we have, for the first time in Atlanta, our new kiln which we started shipping this year, and it's just been amazing. It's built out of the proven components and technology and software that we've been doing for years in the vacuum kiln, but it's simpler, smaller, less expensive, more accessible by more people, and it's a conventional kiln, not a vacuum kiln, but it's very unconventional, so I want to show that to you over here. This is the iDry Air, which is a modular conventional kiln. Okay, so we sell this black box here, which is meant to be bolted onto any kind of a container. Could be a shipping container, a reefer container. Maybe you have a shed that's appropriate, or it's an old DH kiln that you want to soup up and give some more horsepower to. If you want to build a shed, whatever. This provides everything you need to turn it into a kiln. So it's the proper airflow, it's the proper heating, it's the proper control, sensors, ventilation, everything to dry wood properly, whether it's softwood, firewood, hardwood, really meant best for dimensional lumber and thinner stock, up to 8/4, I would say. If you want to dry thicker than 8/4 or slabs, you're really best off with a vacuum kiln. But this kiln right now, which we brought down here from Vermont and installed onto this little mini shipping container to fit in the booth, is drying wood right now, and it's been drying for the last couple of days. It's a load of eastern white pine, just because it was easy and fun to dry. But that's loaded and been drying. We just switched it back on this morning.
Can we see the wood, Jim?
Let's go see the wood. Load of eastern white pine, wet, it's drying. You can see we're drying this wood in Atlanta in a trade show in a convention center. I think we're even underground, probably never been done before in the world, but here we are drying wood in an iDry in Atlanta.
All right, I'm still with Jim here. It's hard to get a camera in here, but you can kind of see the baffle system. That's just a roofing material with a set of pulleys and rope to pull that up. And I'm going to switch places with Jim and see if we can show that in motion.
Tall stack of wood, short stack of wood. Really important to keep the airflow from going over the pile and not through the pile.
And insulation in here, Jim, that's
all spray foamed.
That's a 2-inch closed cell.
Yeah, about 2 inch of spray foam is enough. You can install this outside. We ran ours for a long time outside through the winters of Vermont in negative 20 degrees. Everything just exposed to the elements, and it works really well. Yeah, it's a pretty simple process.
Awesome, thanks, Jim.
Yeah, you bet. Thanks for joining.
Okay, so we're heading home from the International Woodworking Fair in Atlanta. Got about a 4-hour drive, but that was really, really cool, educational, informative to actually see the iDry Air in person, put your hands on it, see how they did some of the modifications to the container on the inside, and just really excited to get that unit and go ahead and get the modifications done to our container and get that thing in motion. So I really appreciate Jim and Brian's time. Jim is the owner of the company. I forget how far back their family goes, but I know he's been intimately involved with it for like 40 years now, and they've pretty much cornered the small business market on the vacuum kiln. And so that's kind of what led me to trust their company to go with this more of a conventional kiln style with the iDry Air. I mean, these guys are very passionate about it, and Brian there was the lead engineer on this project for the iDry Air. So yeah, they were totally nerding out about drying wood, and it was fun to listen to and all that. But I appreciate their time. I'm really glad I went. I think it was a worthy trip. I hope y'all liked it. And as far as the convention itself, I could see they do it. I didn't know this before this week, but the IWF, International Woodworkers Fair, they hold it in Atlanta. always in Atlanta. So I could see maybe in a couple of years going back, talking to some folks there. It sounds like, I mean, it's one of the biggest in the world, and just really some phenomenal setups, way above my head for the most part as far as a lot of the machinery. I mean, huge robots and CNC machines. And I was telling Miss Kara on the phone last night, some of these things took up, I don't know, 150 by 150 square feet on the floor, and just had these massive, manufacturing type setups. But yeah, that was interesting to see, kind of eye-opening. But obviously, the reason for my trip was to go see the iDry Air. Mission accomplished. Super excited to get that unit in our hands and go to work with it. So that was a lot of fun. Hope you liked this video. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, hit subscribe, tell your mama, tell your friends. We'll see you on the next one. Thank you.